run through something real quick. And I did this morning. I prepared something very short, but I thought this morning in my heart that maybe there's one person that needs to hear what I want to say today. I've been training women around the world for the last 22 years. The number that I've trained is 18,000. Started in 1997 in Singapore, and from then traveled the world for 22 years. And here's some pictures with Russia and Asia and Central America, and of course, the love of my life, Africa. Always so happy when I'm with Africa. And some islands, etc. I just wanted to share their faces with you. And I want to ask you a question. Did you realize that the whole universe has been created by invisible laws, things you can't see, which our minds has to accept as a fact? That's quite something. Now, why do our minds accept that as a fact? Good question, right? Our minds work with logic. And I want to add on what the previous powerful speakers have said. Choice. Logic and reason is how our minds are created. And the invisible laws of the universe are directly opposite of logic. Directly opposite. And you can go study the Big Bang Theory. That is something else for another day. Example, how can gentleness be stronger than anger? Center point that kept you going. Choice. How can you give away something? So many gifts given here today. How can you give away and get more in return? I mean, we all give and we receive more. That's not logic, but it's truth, isn't it? So, obviously married to a pilot. Naughty Nico, the captain. Talking your ears off, but a lovable Stotesinki. He taught me something which I quickly want to teach you how to fly. Planes are subjected to the invisible world. Obviously, did you know that when you get on the plane, it's all invisible? You don't know what you're going to get. The invisible world is real and powerful, and it controls the visible world. Planes are confronted by air streams, winds, lightning, and much more, which we don't have time to talk about. But there are 4 specific forces that I just want to bring to your attention. There are 4 invisible forces that work on an aircraft at all times during the flight, from you're airborne until you land. There's drag, there's lift, there's weight, and there's thrust. And unfortunately, for an aircraft to fly, there has to be a harmonizing of these 4 components or forces. If they don't harmonize, the plane is going to fall apart. And in harmony at all times. So there are external forces. An aircraft makes use of an invisible force to take off. I wish I had time to share that with you. It's amazing, but not today. But in order to get airborne, it is driven by an invisible force, which one day I will share with you. It's absolutely so amazing. But the force that gets you airborne is called lift, and it cannot be depleted. That to me is the most powerful of lift. In fact, since the Wright brothers, their first flight in 1903, can you imagine how many times planes has been lifted into the air? And it's never been consumed. The lift has never been consumed. So let's talk about that real quick. Lift is the force that acts at the right angle to the direction of motion through the air. That's lift. And there's a lot more to say about it. But lift is either 0 or 100%. There's no 2% or 5% or 50% or maybe. It's either 0 or 100%. You're either on the ground or you're in the air, period. I love these 2 organizations already airborne and in the air. I love it. Weight is the force of gravity. It acts in a downward direction towards the center of the earth every time. Very, very interesting. In life, ladies and gentlemen, there will always be people and circumstances that will weigh you down. It will come. It's going to bring us to the harmony. We cannot get away from that. Drag. Drag is the force that acts opposite to the direction of the motion. Oh, have we experienced that? Have you had some drag in your life? Oh man, everything goes wrong when it should go right. But this is an important force that we need to be able to fly. In life, there will be always people and circumstances that will cause drag. It causes friction. Oh man, I've had it. You've had it. Combined in this room, I think we can lift a few planes ourselves. Thrust is the force that propels